What's up, gamers? It's Barnes here. I just wanted to chime in about all the talk about classes and starting weapons and Dungeons and Dragons Pathfinder. Um, I've never played a D20 game without weapons groups feats, and basically what weapons groups feats are um, is that they take a group of weapons that are similar and they put them all into one feat, so you know how to use all those weapons. Um, in Unearthed Arcana, Dungeons and Dragons 3.5, which you could easily modify into Pathfinder, virtually no problem. Um, they introduce weapon groups feats, and there's 17 weapon groups feats, and the first one is basic weapons, which is club, dagger, quarterstaff. You know how to use those weapons normally. And then there's axes, bows, claw weapons, crossbows, druid weapons, exotic double weapons, uh, exotic weapons, flails and chains, heavy blades, light blades, maces and clubs, monk weapons, picks and hammers, poles, slings and thrown weapons, spears and lances. Now, some of these groups are reserved for classes, as you heard, like the monk weapons and uh, the druid weapons. But I think you could just adjusticate that and say that you could take that. So here's the way it works: is that every class starts out with a number of weapons groups feats that they can spend on weapons groups. They can only spend them on weapons groups feats, nothing else. They can take other feats that they've gotten and learn new weapons, but at the beginning of the game they get a certain allotted amount. And for like the fighter example, they all get basic weapons. Every class gets basic weapons. The fighter gets basic weapons plus any other four, and on the other extreme is the wizard gets basic weapons or crossbows. Now, this changes the way that you play the weapons out a little bit. For example, if your character takes a feat that usually only affects one weapon, say like improved critical or whatever, instead you would take like improved critical instead of improved critical, short sword. You would take improved critical light blades or improved critical rapier, whatever. But it works with all short light blades. So it would work with dagger, punching dagger, rapier, short sword. So that would be the same for like weapon focus or anything that's normally weapon specific with the feat now affects the whole group, as well as exotic weapons. So you choose a weapons group and then you choose the exotic weapons group feat, and you know how to use exotic weapons from that group. Um, for the most part, I like this. There's a few things I don't like about it. The list is a little bit limited. So you could add to the list, and actually, if you use Pathfinder, there's like a fighter weapon bonus or whatever. With a specific group of weapons, he gets a bonus, I believe. Um, those groups are very similar as to these groups, and you could just use those lists to add to these. But one of the problems I have is like for something like light crossbows. Now, crossbows are relatively easy to learn to use compared to like a long bow or something, and it just doesn't seem like you get as much as for your feet with the weapons group crossbows. You get heavy crossbows, light crossbows, repeating heavy crossbows, repeating light crossbows. And I guess that's a lot, but still, it just kind of seems, I don't know, the light crossbow should maybe be in basic weapons. But anyway, um, if you want to use these, it's around page 94 on Unearthed Arcana in 3.5. And that's how I handle weapons in my game. And that way, if a ranger wants to take a whip, he can go ahead and do that. Anyway, I want to know what you guys think about weapons groups feats, and if you're unhappy with the way that weapons are presented in the core books, then I suggest you use weapons groups feats. All right, there we go.